Thank you for heeding my call, newcomer. I don't suppose your passage to Summerset brought you past Weston Coraldale? My father, Curteros, runs a boat in an angler fleet. They're long overdue, and while his stride tends to be a leisurely one, I've never seen the whole fleet gone for so long. I'm probably over-concerned. The weather's been fair and the wind's mild. Perhaps their fishing has been so fruitful they dare not waste their good fortune. But I'd feel better if I knew what to make of their delay. The fleet set off west. Western Coraldale is an island engulfed by coral reefs, but you can reach it safely in that sailboat. I'd go with you, but I'm afraid I don't share my father's comfort with open water. Not since I was very young. My father took me fishing once, showed me how to bait a hook, coax a bite, and work the line until the catch tires out. It wasn't meant to be an eventful trip, but it turned out that way. Father dozed off, so I continued to apply what I'd learnt without him. Soon enough, I'd hooked my first catch. Or rather, it hooked me. Yanked me clear off the boat and into the deep. I was too shocked to let go of the rod, nearly drowned. Yes, fished me out of the drink, quite literally. He still calls me his prized catch. It's funnier when you're not coughing up seawater. Oh, there's not much to tell. He's plied the sea for its bounty for as long as I can recall, and that's some time, mind you. We eat well, and he makes a fair bit of coin with his best catches, but sometimes I wish he'd keep a bit more lively. Not especially. I've never been myself, but Father's only remarked about the occasional ornery coral crab or hungry salamander. The reefs are the only real hazard, but only to a ship of considerable size and flimsy make.
Well, never seen you before. Guess no one told you that this is my spot. Been my spot nearly a century. And it'll be my spot a century more, God's willing. So don't go getting any ideas. Plenty of space down the coast. So, off with you now. Huh, fancy that. I told Hiranessa for years those sea elves would mount an invasion from Waston Coraldale. Figures they'd launch it while I was having a nap. Well, come along then. Best send them off before they hook all the best catches. Of course. Any Royal Marine of the Queen's Navy worth their salt would. Might have traded my saber for a fishing rod, but I've still got my sea legs, and I'm still as sharp as the day I mustered. The others I sail with are civilians, though. Aye. Even if they caught a glimpse of a sea elf cutter before it reached Waston Coraldale, there's no chance a fishing boat would have outrun it. If anyone from the fleet's still alive out there, it's our duty to help them. Best we split up. Unless my creaking knees give me away, I ought to be able to handle some scouting while you're searching for survivors. We'll rendezvous at the old lover's tree near the reef on the eastern shore. My friends will know the one. Enemy movement. Numbers, positions, assess our situation. I hope to have a plan by the time you've finished your search. 3 aside from myself: Mdolina, Aldoterel, and Carterel. Not much of a fleet when you compare it to the Royal Armada, but we're the scourge of anything with guilds. Hope you find them safe and sound. Too quiet. If one of them had reached the mainland, the Royal Navy would have sent ships to intercept these sea elves by now. No one knows they're here except us. Unless I'm caught. Won't be much use to the sea elves as a prisoner, but I'll black an eye or two before I greet my maker. Tell her my children are grown and my wants are few. But I cannot say the same for my friends. I've had a good life. I don't mind trading what's left of it, so others might have the same.
Sacred Ascendants, take me home. I thought you were a sea elf. One moment I was just dipping my toes in the shallows having a pleasant day. The next there's a murderous corsair or hungry reef viper around every corner. We're trapped. He's alive. At his age, I'd have thought he'd be the first to fall prey to those sea elves. Should have given the stubborn old salt more credit. I'll make my way to him. Better than waiting to die out here. Thank you.
Stranger, don't anger the salamanders. They're the only thing keeping those sea elves from wandering too close. What are you doing out here? I've never seen you before. You're sure we're talking about the same Kurtaros? The one I know is more likely to be mistaken for dead and sleep right through this whole mess.
All this crouching is damnation on my back. But I've seen everything I need to know what the enemy's up to. How fares the search? Any sign of Carterel? Never do when it comes to these sea elves. They'll rob us of more than a few good souls before all is said and done here. They're digging in, placing ballistae along the shore. When the Royal Navy finally does mount an attack, they'll be taking fire from Maormer on both land and sea. It'll be a bloodbath, unless some misfortune befalls their plans. Catch my drift? I'm not suggesting we repel the whole invasion, but I do know my way around a ballista. If we turn one toward their own ships and cause enough of a stir, we can draw on a friendly patrol and catch the sea elves out of their element. I'll get into position and await your attack. Then we'll give those sea snakes a good spearing while these two make for your vessel. You do have a vessel, don't you? All right, you two go prepare the boat our friend brought. We'll provide a distraction. Trinamac's wrath be with us.
Seals. Fond of winged snakes and soggy chests. Noted. Fleshy, thick-thumbed biped. Hello. You're an elf, right? Or is it a man? I'm sorry. I have some difficulty telling you people apart. You're much less blue than the others. In color, I mean, not disposition. Anyway, what can I do for you? Josiah. Wait, you're talking about that jittery mage I tricked into freeing me, right? Oh, she's a delight. I had hoped for a longer holiday. Can only manage a leap like this once a century after all. I will. I'm actually quite comfortable here, mate. Cozy accommodations, the transliminal tones of the ocean waves, gangly meat brains to mock, but I guess I should be going. These elves plan to sell me. Can you imagine? I'll help you. On one condition. When we're done sewing up these chronosymphonic when we're done sewing up these time breaches, you'll let me wander the Mundus in peace. No more dim-witted Sijiks peppering me with questions, no more dusty shells. You have a deal? Right. So, should we get going, or...? Of course you do. Everyone asks questions, and I have all the answers. Fair warning, be specific. I'm bound to tell the truth, but the truth can be a little... slippery. You know what I mean? I'm a traveler like you, except, well, nothing like you, to be honest, no offense. I'm what you might call an aspect, eh? Like, an idea's shadow. Don't make a face, I'm telling you the truth. Not my fault your language is so crude. I'm not in the skull, I am the skull. At least here on Nern. Over in the adjacent place, I'm shaped like a throat pillow. Imagine that. You look confused. It's just a trick of the light, mate. The skull's what you might call a manifestation. Of me! This is just sad. Try this. Imagine a soul gem. Got it? Now imagine that the soul in the gem is also the gem itself. Weird, right? Ha! Mime and a head explosion. You can't see it because I haven't got any arms, but it's happening. I am one of the unfortunate quirks of the Sijic binding ritual that brought me here. I'm free to lie as much as I like, unless you, or anyone else for that matter, ask me a direct question. Cheap trick if you ask me. They did, a bit. I'm certain I could break out if I really put my mind to it. I don't blame them, honestly. If I was in their position, bobbing along like a little lost acorn in an ocean of knowledge, I'd want to trap me too. I guess, but instantaneous translocation's not like a Sundas scroll. The veil here in Mundus is all thick and sticky, you know? Like I said before, I think I'm grounded for the foreseeable future. I will. I am. I had no idea you were so funny. We're gonna have a really good time, you and I. Yes, in answer to your direct question, I do know a lot, and by a lot, I mean basically everything. Well, an augur of the obvious wouldn't be very useful, would it? For what it's worth, I lobbied for something way more impressive. The resplendent skull of hexagonal wonders! It was forcefully vetoed. No canning for taste, I guess. Of course I do. Everything has a name. Names give a thing its shape. Birds, snowflakes, tea kettles, you get the idea. I'd tell you mine, but you'd need about 6 more tongues and a pair of symbols to pronounce it correctly, so let's not bother. Fair enough. So, where to? I assume you've got a map or something? So, you know where we're going now, right? Good. You take me to a time breach, and I'll help you spot it. Huh. This bag's a bit snug, eh?
Hold them off while I spear that cutter! This is what Tamriel! They didn't call me the scourge of the sea drakes for nothing! That'll do. Fall back and get to the boat. Captain coming aboard. Boats prepped and ready.
Father! You had me so worried. What happened? Where's your boat?
None of that now, my nervous cup. I'll tell you all about it. But first there's one more thing we need to see to. Come, friends. It's time we commit our memories to the drink.
He washes up here after being gone for weeks, his boat nowhere in sight, and he acts like it's just another day on the sea. Was everything all right? Did he cause you any trouble? Oh, he put you up to that, didn't he? Papa always loves to embellish his journeys. Whatever the truth is, I'm just glad you brought him home safe. If all newcomers are so kind, Summerset will be fortunate to have you. He's not fooling me. I can tell something happened. Father's putting on a brave face, like he used to whenever I'd ask him about his younger days. He'd smile and deflect the question, but I could see a sadness in his eyes he couldn't hide. His secret. The fanciful story of meeting my mother, a myth about how the moon and stars winked on the day of my birth, and tall tales about his fishing voyages. Before that, not a word. Not once. I don't think I'll ever get the truth out of him. You're serious? So what you said about the sea elves attacking, it was all true? What's he hiding? Was he a pirate? I always wondered if he didn't talk about it because he was ashamed. Why would he hide that? I'm sorry, I have so many questions and it's not you who has the answers. I'll leave my father to the company of his friends for now, but when he's ready to come home, he can't leave his other life behind this time. Oh yes, she and Carterel have been together for years. She used to look after me when I was younger, while father and the others were off at sea. She's a good friend. I imagine she'll be with father and the others, waiting to see Carterel when she arrives. He and his mates have a tradition of celebrating their safe return. They're partial to a small batch brewer on the south side of Alinor, by the craft masons. They'll probably be there all night. The fanciful story of meeting my mother. 70 years isn't enough. I love my father, but all I want is to love him for who he is, not who he shows me. When he was missing, I wasn't just worried I'd lose him. I was worried I'd never get the chance to know him. You didn't come here to listen to a grown woman bawling about her father to a stranger. Forgive me. You did enough bringing him home safe. What comes after is up to me.
These blasted guards. Perhaps there's a window. No, that won't do. So we meet again. Always nice and rare to see a friendly face. I'm afraid I don't have time to chat at the moment. I'm trying to seek entrance into this winery, but the guards refuse to let me in, despite my invitation. Tableau has left the House of Reveries, and tonight is her art debut. I received an invitation, but I suspect her patron caught wind of my arrival. Lilowen doesn't quite accept me as an acquaintance. In truth, I only wish to attend to check on Tableau. Her invitation came with a note outlining concerns for her safety. Could you perhaps go in and check on her? Make sure things run smoothly. It would mean a good deal to me if you would. Lilowen should be able to tell you where you can find Tableau. Just look for a noble type who looks like she has a stick up her ass. Well, more so than usual. Meet me behind the vineyard afterward. I'd rather not overstay my welcome here. Perhaps we were, but we've now gone our separate ways. Her choice of me as an acquaintance was always questionable, but mostly accepted when she was part of the House of Reveries. Once she acquired a patron, I felt it best to leave. Overly sentimental. Still, it's best this way. A reputable artist within Summerset is thought very highly of. It would never do to be seen with a Hulkind. I only came tonight out of concern for her safety. Once that's confirmed, I'll be on my way. My intentions are completely honorable, I assure you. There's no way I would harbor romantic intentions, given my status. Tableau is just one of the few Mer I consider a friend. The least I can do is keep her safe.
Strange. I don't remember seeing you on the guest list. What proof do you have? You're the 15th friend of hers to come out of the woodwork today. Why, I never knew she was so well connected before she debuted as Eleanor's newest artist. Perhaps you do know her. She's in the room upstairs, preparing. Would you be ever so useful and tell her to come down? I'd rather she not be late for her own debut. For such an outstanding artist, Tableau certainly seems to have a wide variety of friends. Stars forbid these attachments get in the way of her debut. Keeping her stage name is one thing. Her disreputable associates? Quite another. So you know the Hulkand as well? My, he's quite popular given his status. I never forbade Tableau from interacting with Manachar, but it seemed he understood his place well enough. For him to disrupt this debut, however, is a different matter. Tableau often has unnecessary sentiments. As her patron, it falls on me to bring her into the world of the elite. Sometimes that involves making such decisions. I certainly don't think I need to explain why Manachar is not an appropriate associate. Hate him? No, rather I pity him. A mer without family cannot truly be considered a mer, after all. Why, he's more than an outsider within Summerset. He's truly nothing. A broken child can never hope to become anything more. Did you truly think that Tableau was her actual name? Oh dear, of course not. The House of Reveries all have silly stage names such as that. Chuckle, Bug Eyes, that sort of thing. Quite the egregious practice, I must say. Of course they don't. Who would take someone named Bug Eyes seriously? But for Tableau, it works. After all, she is an artist. A certain air of mystery comes a long way if you know how to sell such things.
Hey there! Welcome!
I can't take it anymore. What could possibly be keeping you... oh my. I'm ruined.
I wander still, gaze out at the sea, hope to see her shining face, smiling back at me. Star-eyed bride of Addons,